Hello, people of Earth. Today I am doing what am I doing? My wrap up. I forgot for a second. My wrap up while doing laundry. So that's fun, I think. If you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I feel really awkward because I'm kind of stealing this idea from Read with Cindy. But I don't think she'll mind because she doesn't know I exist, or I don't think she knows I exist. Anyway, so in no particular order, I'm going to talk about the books that I read in June and my opinions on them. So yeah. The first book I have here is Dream House by Marcia Besognin. Sorry. I feel really bad when I can't pronounce names. Marcia Besognin. I think I said that right. Cutie Pie Marcia on YouTube. Felix Kjellberg's wife / PewDiePie's wife. I hope I said that. Alright, anyway. So, how did I feel about this book? This book was so confusing on so many levels. So I read it because, honestly, I don't even know. I think it's just that Marcia doesn't make YouTube content anymore because she left YouTube a while ago. And I wanted to know a little bit, not more about her, but like I wanted to read some of her book. I wanted to read her book, basically, because Marcia is she seems like such a nice person, and she always seems to just be really kind and want to do the best for people. So I'm like, I'll read her book. And then I did. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was bad, but good. Does that, I'm going to zoom you guys in. You can't see my face. I know that everyone wants to see my face. Is that good? I think that's better, okay. So, this isn't a spoiler wrap up or whatever. It was just, actually it is, scratch that. So, in this book, the main character goes to this house, right? She goes to this house. We don't really know why, and then she stays there, and then she says that she has to stay in the stranger's family's house because they left while she stayed the night or something. And okay, I need to re-explain. So the main character, I forgot her name, comes to this house, she stays in the house, and then the people who live in that house leave, but she still stays there because she forgot to thank them for the hospitality of letting her stay the night there, or something along those lines, right? And then if you've read it, the writing is actually good. I think the dialogue can be trash at a lot of points. I don't like the dialogue, but it kept me interested. I kept wanting to know what's going on. What is happening here? I felt like I was dumb because I was reading it and I'm like, why are we still in this house? And then at the end, they explain why she stayed there, I guess. Honestly, it's such a fuzzy blur that I honestly don't even know, what happened. It honestly confuses me. I'm gonna be real with you. And then when we get our answers, they're just so unsatisfactory that I just can't. When you go, you get your report card, and sometimes the teacher, they can mark what kind of behavior you had, and it can be outstanding, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or whatever. right? And this was, out of all the books I read this month, this one got an unsatisfactory. Because I feel like if she had just chosen a different story altogether, I would have liked the book, but then it would be a different book. So if she came out with a new book, I would still read it, which I can't say for a lot of the authors that I dislike a book by them. Like, I wouldn't pick up another one of their books because I feel like it would be just as bad, if not worse, you know? But I do give authors who I think the writing was good like a second try, because then it's like, well, maybe it was just the plot, or maybe it was just the characters, or maybe it was just the trash dialogue. I don't know. And you know, the characters, like, I wasn't really invested in what the main character was doing. Like, I honestly didn't care what was happening at any point. Like, I just didn't care what the main character was doing. I cared more about the writing. And that's what kept me going. I read along with the audiobook, and it's a quick read just because it's super short. I think it's like 200-ish pages. But there's so many, like, annoying parts in here where I'm like, just leave the house. And then we realize at the end why she didn't leave, and it's just like, really? What? So it was unsatisfactory, but like at the same time I would read another book by her because I think it was the plot, and I think that over time she can learn to write better dialogue. So yeah, my second book that I'm going to talk about is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I loved this book. All right, I'm just going to be real with you. All right, that book, oh, this book, why am I saying that as if it's far away? This book was so good. It wasn't like my favorite book of all time, but I actually gave a book 4 stars. If you know me, I give most of my books 3 or less stars, alright? When I get a 4-star read, and it's like a solid 4 stars, it's not like just oh, the plot was good and the dialogue was good, I just didn't like it 4 stars. No, it was a solid 4 stars. And the only reason it wasn't a 5 stars was because, like, there was something, like, kind of missing. I think that was lost in the poetry aspect, you know, because there was a lot of depth, right, that was conveyed through the poetry layout. If you don't know, the Poet X is, like, the writing style is poetry. It's like a poetry writing style. And how do I explain my feelings for this book? Because the depth and the amount of how it felt like a real story. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Maybe I just didn't read enough on the back. It feels like a real story. I'm sure it's inspired by real events anyway. And it's about the power of poetry and the power of family dynamics, the power of an individual, and how an individual can change other people's lives just by their influence or or communicating their thoughts. And I really enjoyed it. As someone who does write poetry and is actually writing a poetry book right now, I really do connect with the power of poetry. I know it can sound like so pretentious. When you tell people that you're into poetry, you automatically sound pretentious. Like, if you say that you like golf, right, you're automatically going to sound pretentious. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It just comes off as pretentious, even though in a lot of cases it's not. Like, I think most people, they have a poem that really speaks to them. And it's not pretentious to like poetry. I just think that there's a lot of people in the poetry community, and how poets are portrayed in like movies. They're always like the person who thinks that they're not like other girls and stuff. But in this book, it was more about how poetry allows you to word what you're feeling inside, how you're feeling in your heart, how you're feeling in your mind, and how it's another way of expressing yourself, right? Just like music, just like any other medium of art, right? Painting, it's another way of expressing yourself, and words. It's another way of it's just another way of expressing yourself. And some people can be pretentious about it, but a lot of people just like writing poetry because it helps them cope with the world around them. And there are so many scenes in here that really rip you apart to witness as you're reading. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Even if you don't like poetry, like you're not a poetry fanatic, I think you'll like this book. It's really good, and unlike a lot of other, I don't know if this is considered contemporary. I don't know if it's considered contemporary, but if it is, a lot of contemporary or YA, it doesn't feel like the people who wrote them actually went to high school. You know what I mean? Just because it's a lot of, and other YA teen lit, right? It just doesn't feel like they went to high school, and the way they talk about cliques, and the way they talk about like character dynamics and how it is when they go to school, just doesn't feel like they went to high school. Completely different. I was about to say whoever wrote this. I can read whoever wrote this. Elizabeth Acevedo. She went to high school, okay? And I can actually feel that she went to high school. And I can actually feel the emotion behind the words. And I can just feel it. And I think unlike other YA teen lit books, it actually felt realistic. It actually felt like a real story that happened, unlike all of these others, like where they talk about the popular kids, and like they just talk about all of these weird dynamics in high school that don't exist, like because you can talk about popular kids in books. I'm very aware that lots of schools do have that. Mine personally didn't, but a lot of authors write it wrong, and and they write in the most cliched, like F the prom and the kissing booth way, and it's just like, it's just like, nah. So, 4 stars to the Poet X. Next! Do you like my dance? B stars, alright, volume 2. Oh my god! I need to come closer. That's Luis. You've been blessed. You're welcome, okay? I cannot express how much I love Beastars, and how much I love the world, how much I love the writing, how much I love the art. Everything about it is just so perfect and well done. Are there flaws? I'm sure there are. I don't think my eyes coated in stars because of how much I love this manga. Where is this metaphor going to? I don't know. Anyway, so 5 stars. 5 stars. Can't convince me otherwise. I watched the anime before I started reading the manga, because I didn't know it was a manga. Like, I found out about the anime before I found about the manga, because I saw the anime on Netflix and I was like, ooh, okay. So I watched the anime reluctantly because I'm like, this looks like trash. Like CGI wolves, like having a romance with a rabbit. Like, what? Like, is this some kind of alternate Zootopia? And it was. But it was everything and more. It was so good. The way... I'm not going to talk about the anime because I'm talking about books, but the art, bruh. I talked about this in my words. I talked about this in my mid-year book freakout tag. Like, look at the art. Alright, look at the art. Okay, I don't know what scene's going on here, so don't blame me for spoilers, but like, the art is just so good, and it's different. I think that's my fridge, okay? I think my, like, obsession with the art is that it's different, okay? It's different than most manga, because if you've read enough manga, you know that a lot of it's the same, slightly different, but the same, and it gets kind of repetitive, and you're kind of, I still read it, it's just like it gets a little bit repetitive, but with Beastars, it's actually different, and that's so nice to see, is actually like a unique art style. And I don't really have that much to say about it because you just have to read it. You know what I mean? You just have to, that's the train. You just have to read it, and the sequel it just gets better. Like, the first one was a lot, even if you've seen the anime, it doesn't matter. You can still read the manga and get something out of it. I really like it. If I had more money, I'd buy all of them right now. But alas, my wallet cries, okay? And so I don't really have anything to say. Again, I gave it 5 stars. I highly recommend. The dynamics between characters like Luis, Legoshi, and Haru. Bruh. It's like a soap opera. Luis would like that, I guess. But anyway. My last book I'm going to talk about, I'm ending on a bad note. I'm sorry, my guys. The Coffee Bean by... Sorry, it's taking me a couple of seconds. I can't tell if there's 2 authors? Oh, I didn't know that. John Gordon and Damon West. I'm going to sit down because I make the rules here, okay? How do I explain my other, not disappointment because I knew it was going to be bad, but just not sadness, not anger, just, yeah. And I can't express in words how much I don't like this book, is what I'm trying to say, okay? I don't know why it took 2 people to write this book, because it's like super, super short, right? And it's like, there's hardly any words on the page, and they're in like big type. And there's pictures, so I'm like, and it's $17. Did I buy this book? Heck no, bruh. Heck no. Because I did track for a quick second before school let out because of the coronavirus and stuff like that, the pandemic. Before school stopped happening, I did track, and basically they all gave us like a little goodie bag of stuff, a couple, like in the beginning of June or whatever, and they gave us this book, and it's about positive thinking and change and stuff. I don't know why it says positive change, it's more like positive thinking, but whatever. I didn't like it just because it felt like forced positivity being stuffed down my throat, like, oh, you're in a bad situation, just be positive and figure out how to get through your situation, which is such a general piece of advice, and the way that they talked about it was so condescending, and it was just condescending, forced positivity, just not good. No. I gave it 1 star, obviously, so yeah. Yep. Here is my small book stack of books. I hope you enjoyed this video as I did my laundry and stole the idea from Read with Cindy. I love you. If you're watching, you're not, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, that's my video. I will see all of you guys in the next one. I usually don't do these things. I don't like doing wrap-ups because it makes me feel like I should be reading more, because I only read 4 books, whereas most of BookTube has like read 10 or a million. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! This is the tripod today. It's a chair, a bin, and paper towels, and my manga. So yeah, let's get yeah, that's the end of the video.